Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful, complex, and enduring empires in human history. For over 600 years, the Ottoman Empire was the bridge between East and West, a superpower that commanded the crossroads of three continents. From a tiny principality in Anatolia to the gates of Vienna, let's unpack the epic saga of the House of Osman. Our story starts around 1299. After the Mongol Empire shattered the Seljuk Turks, small tribal lordships began to emerge in modern-day Turkey. One leader, Osman I, founded a dynasty that would carry his name, the Ottomans. The early Ottomans weren't just warriors, they were masters of adaptability. They used a unique military system, including the famous Janissaries, an elite standing army of converted soldiers who were loyal only to the Sultan. For centuries, the Byzantine Empire, the remnants of Rome, held the legendary city of Constantinople. In 1453, a 21-year-old sultan named Mehmed the Conqueror did the unthinkable. Using massive cannons and even dragging ships overland to bypass sea chains, he breached the impregnable walls. The result? Constantinople became Istanbul. The impact? This marked the end of the Middle Ages and forced Europeans to look for new trade routes to Asia, inadvertently sparking the Age of Discovery and Columbus's voyages. If the empire had a peak, this was it. Under Suleiman the Magnificent, the empire reached its greatest geographical extent, stretching from the gates of Vienna to the Persian Gulf, and from the tip of Arabia to the shores of Algiers. Lawgiver. In the East, he's known as Kanuni, the lawgiver, for overhauling the Ottoman legal system. Culture. This was a renaissance of Islamic art, architecture, thanks to the genius architect Mimar Sinan, and poetry. By the 1600s and 1700s, the tide began to turn. While Europe was undergoing the Industrial Revolution and the Enlightenment, the Ottoman central government began to weaken. Military defeats. The failed Second Siege of Vienna in 1683 proved that Ottoman military superiority was fading. Economic shifts. New Atlantic trade routes bypassed the Silk Road, draining the empire's treasury. Tanzimat reforms. In the 1800s, the empire tried to modernize with the Tanzimat reforms, updating the army, banking, and civil rights, but it was often too little too late. The 20th century brought the final blow. Internal political pressure from the Young Turks sought to modernize the state into a constitutional monarchy. However, the empire's decision to side with Germany in World War I was its undoing. After the war, the empire was partitioned by the Allies. From the ashes of this collapse, a national hero named Mustafa Kemal Ataturk led a war of independence, eventually abolishing the Sultanate and founding the modern secular Republic of Turkey in 1923. The Ottoman Empire wasn't just a Turkish story, it was a global one. It was a massive experiment in multiculturalism, military might, and bureaucratic genius that shaped the borders of the modern Middle East and Southeast Europe as we know them today.